Hi everyone, my name's Joanne Daly. I'm one of the careers advisors at Mid Kent College, and you're joining me today to take part in a very short video which we've put together regarding CV writing tips and techniques, which we hope you will find helpful. So this is a typical example of a CV which we will do with students. That's the typical layout that we tend to go for. Ideally, one page is fine to go on to 2 pages, but definitely not more than 2 pages. Make sure it's clear, easy to read, and definitely check your spelling and grammar. They're two of the most important things that employers will always check. And make sure it's got relevant information only. So that is what that means is essentially you do need to change your CV for each job you go for, because every job advert is different. So do make sure you've tailored your CV relevant for each job that you apply for. You'll start off your CV and you'll have your personal details at the top of the page. That could be your name, your mobile number, and your email. Please don't put silly emails on. They are a real turn off for employers. Just something like joeblogs@gmail.com will be absolutely fine. Then you move on to something called a profile. This is just a few sentences at the start of your CV, and it's a bit like your biography. It's your selling point. It's what you want employers to read first about you and think that you sound like an interesting person and they want to interview you. So you can cover in here the experience, maybe jobs experience or skills that you've gained, how many years or months, maybe a qualification relevant to the job you're going for, your top 2 skills or qualities, and the reason you're applying. What that then could look like is something like this. So for instance, I'm a retail worker with 2 years of experience within food and fashion environments, holding the NVQ level 2 qualification in customer service with excellent communication skills, an effective team worker with team leading experience, very reliable, holding a first aid certificate, actively seeking an opportunity within retail where I can further develop and progress. You can then move on to a skills section. This is a good way of making your CV really tailored towards that job that you're applying for. Make your skills relevant to the job, bullet pointed, and make sure you include positive descriptive words. So instead of just saying, for instance, I've got IT skills, you could enlarge that with ICT, including Microsoft Word and Excel. Instead of just saying excellent sales ability, you could say excellent sales record, hitting 119% of target with Windows Sales Limited, so that employer knows that you've really got the skills and exceeded them in some of your roles. You can then move on to your education and training, and it's always your most recent goes first. So if you're at Mid Kent College, that's going to be your first there, and it will be the dates that you started and the dates that you're finishing. If you're applying and you haven't finished your course, that's absolutely fine. You can put that you're here to date. So for instance, September 2018 to date, and then that employer would know that you're still in that training and education. The name of the college and the qualification that you're doing. Underneath that, you can put your schooling in, the name of the school, the dates that you were there. You don't have to list all your GCSE grades if you don't want to. Some young people don't feel very confident with the grades they got, so you could just list it as we've done there, 7 GCSEs at grade 3 or above. However, if that company have specifically asked for certain grades, do make sure that you add them in. Your work history could be next. Again, similar to your education, it's your most recent first, the dates that you've worked at that company, the job title, where you've worked, and any particular achievements. This is quite a nice way of making your CV stand out. So rather than just having a job description, talk through a couple of the achievements that you've reached. That could be something like that you've gained excellent, outstanding customer service, you've been praised highly for being a team worker, you've achieved all your sales targets, and then a few sentences about what you've actually done in that role, and it gives an employer an idea then of what you've actually done and achieved in that job. Interests. You could put something like this: I enjoy keeping fit and active and have played football for my local team for 4 years, and I believe this has strengthened my skills in teamwork, communication and leadership skills. This is quite a nice way of emphasising again to that employer that you've got skills that you've gained not just from work but from outside of work and from school. So you could add those on there. And then lastly, you have your references. You don't need to put the full name and address of the people who are going to write your reference. You can just put in there, as it says, references are available upon request or at interview. And that's it. If you need any more help, we'd love to see you. Do come along. We can have a one-to-one appointment with you or telephone appointment, and we can help you with everything job related, particularly doing CVs if you would need support with that. Thank you so much.